Before we start, the disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for education and entertainment only. Nothing here is investment, tax, or legal advice, and nothing is a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Investing involves risk, including the loss of your capital. Past performance does not guarantee future results. I may hold some of the assets discussed. Always do your own research and consult a licensed professional before making any decision. And welcome to the channel where we go deep. No hype, no hot tips, just the real mechanics. Today we settle a question almost every growth investor types into a search bar. What is the best growth ETF? And we are going to do it with three of the most popular names out there. But here is the twist that makes this interesting. These three are not three flavors of the same thing. They are three completely different bets. And 1 year, 2022, exposed exactly how different they really are. The three contenders: VGT, the Vanguard Information Technology Fund; QQQM, the Invesco Nasdaq 100 Fund; and SPMO, the Invesco S&P 500 Momentum Fund. On the surface, three growth funds that all rode the same technology boom. Underneath, a sector bet, an index bet, and a factor bet, three genuinely different philosophies of chasing growth. By the end, you will know not which one is best, but which kind of bet each one really is, and which one fits how you actually invest. If you saw my earlier video where I ranked 7 tech and growth ETFs, this is the sequel. Out of that comparison, three philosophies rose to the top: owning a whole sector, owning a growth index, and tilting toward a factor. These three funds are the cleanest, most popular American versions of exactly those three ideas. One quick structural note: these are all United States listed funds. If you invest from the US, you can buy them directly. If you invest from Europe, rules called PRIEPs usually block them, and you would use the UCITS equivalents I covered last time. The philosophies are identical, only the wrapper changes. So let us meet each one properly, because what they hold tells you almost everything about how they will behave. First, VGT. This is the purest of the three. It owns the entire United States information technology sector by weight, around 98% technology and almost nothing else. That means a small handful of giant names, the largest chip and software and hardware companies, dominate the fund. It is the cheapest of the three at 9 basis points, that is $9 a year on 10,000. The trade-off is concentration. When technology soars, VGT soars. When technology breaks, there is nowhere to hide, because tech is the whole fund. Second, QQQM. This tracks the NASDAQ 100, the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. It is the same index as the famous Triple Q fund, just a newer, cheaper share class built for buy and hold investors at 15 basis points. Crucially, it is broader than pure tech. Technology is a bit over half the fund, but it also holds large communication and consumer names. So it is still growth heavy and still dominated by mega caps, but it is a touch more diversified than owning the tech sector alone. Third, and the most misunderstood, SPMO. This is a momentum fund. It takes the S&P 500 and holds only the roughly 100 stocks with the strongest recent price trend, then rebalances twice a year to stay on the winners. And here is the key idea most people miss. Momentum is not the same as growth. Growth, value, and momentum are three different factors. A momentum fund does not always hold tech. It holds whatever has been winning lately, which today happens to be the big artificial intelligence names, but in other years has been energy, healthcare, or value. It is a moving target by design. Its fee sits in the middle at 13 basis points. Now, the part you came for, let us put $10,000 into each one at the start of 2020 and follow it year by year all the way through the end of 2025. Watch the paths, not just the endings. In 2020 and 2021, everything rips higher with the tech sector and the NASDAQ leading. Then 2022 hits, and look what happens. The tech fund and the NASDAQ fund collapse while the momentum line barely dips. In 2023, tech rockets back, but momentum oddly lags. Then in 2024, momentum surges to the front, three completely different rides. And yet, by the end of 2025, look how close the three of them finish. The S&P 500 in gray is left well behind them all. In dollars, here is where that 10,000 landed after 6 years. The tech sector fund finished on top at roughly 32,000, but momentum was right behind it at about 30,600, and the nasdaq fund at just under 30,000. Three different strategies separated by only a couple of $1,000 after 6 years. The plain S&P 500, by contrast, grew to around 23,000. So all three of our growth funds comfortably beat the broad market over this window and finished remarkably close to one another. But that tidy ending hides the whole point of this video, because the three of them did not feel anything alike along the way, and nowhere was that clearer than in the worst year of the period. 2022, the year interest rates spiked and growth stocks were punished. The tech sector fund fell almost 30%. The nasdaq fund fell even harder, down about 32.5%. The broad S&P 500 lost around 18, but momentum, it fell just 10.5%, a third of the pain of the tech funds. For 1 year, the momentum fund behaved like a completely different, far calmer animal. This is the chart almost nobody looks at before they buy, and it is the most important one here. Flip that around and it really lands. Think of it as how much of your money was still standing at the end of that brutal year. In the momentum fund, almost 90% of your money survived 2022. In the tech sector fund, only about 70% did, and in the nasdaq fund, just under 68. When leadership in the market rotated away from technology, momentum quietly rotated with it. The others could not because they are permanently bolted to tech. So why did momentum hold up? Remember how it works. It rebalances onto whatever has been winning. By early 2022, the winners were no longer high-flying tech. They were energy, value, and defensive names. So when 2022 arrived, the momentum fund was already sitting in exactly the parts of the market that held up best. It was not clever foresight. It was a mechanical rule that happened to rotate it out of harm's way just in time. That is the genuine strength of a momentum tilt. It can move with the market's leadership instead of clinging to last decade's winners. But, and this is the honest other half, that cushion is not free. Look at 2023, when technology came roaring back, the tech sector fund jumped about 53%, the nasdaq fund nearly 55%, and momentum, it made only about 18%. Because it had rotated into defensives in 2022, it was caught flat-footed and largely missed the snapback rally. Momentum protected you on the way down, then made you wait on the way back up. It rotated back into tech eventually, which is why 2024 was its best year. But that is the deal: smoother in crashes, slower at sharp turns. Step back and the real lesson appears. Measured by the swing of their yearly returns, the two tech funds were wild, bouncing around by roughly 27 and 28% year to year. Momentum was far steadier, around 17, yet all three ended up in nearly the same place. So momentum did not beat the tech funds, and it did not lose to them either. It got you to a similar destination on a noticeably smoother road. Whether that is worth it depends entirely on one thing: whether you would actually have stayed invested through a 30% crash or panicked and sold at the bottom. Now, before anyone screenshots a chart and goes all in, the cautions, because they matter more than the rankings. First, this is 6 years with exactly one bad year. That is a tiny sample, and one rough patch is not a stress test. Second, this entire window was a historic technology bull market, which flattered all three of these funds versus the broad market. Third, momentum can whipsaw badly when leadership flips quickly, exactly as it did in 2023. Fourth, all three currently lean on the very same giant AI names, so holding two or three of them is far less diversified than it looks. And fifth, the fee differences here are tiny, so do not pick on cost alone. So, the best growth ETF, the honest answer is that there is not one, there are three different tools. The tech sector fund is maximum conviction in technology, the biggest upside and the hardest falls. The NASDAQ fund is diversified growth, still mega cap heavy, but a little broader. And the Momentum Fund is the different bet entirely. A rules-based tilt that cushioned the worst year and rode a smoother road to a similar place. The best one is simply the one whose ride you can actually stomach all the way through the next 2022. None of this is a recommendation. That part is yours to research. If this helped the pieces click, consider subscribing and, as always, protect your downside first. Thanks for watching.